Last night, I went to one of the most amazing concerts I've ever been to in my entire life. And I can't wait to tell you everything about it, coupled with all the things that I accomplished in January. And maybe you'll hear Uni in the background. She's a little bit hyperactive. It might be a lengthy one, but when is it not? So let's go ahead and dive into it. If I don't sound fully coherent, that is because I just woke up 30 seconds? No, it took me a long time to set up anyways. 30 minutes ago. Last night, I went to DPR Live and DPR Ian and DPR Cream. Basically, the DPR Gangs concert. It's their tour finale in Seoul. And I was really debating if I wanted to go or not because, as you may have known or deduced, my wallet solely belongs to Mamamoo when it comes to concert. So I'm like, I do listen to them and I do like their songs, but is it really worth it to spend 132? 4? 2? 4? 134. And I really pondered about it and I decided, you know what? I trust their production. I trust their vision. Let's just bite the bullet and do it. And originally, we weren't supposed to go to the concert this weekend. So as of recording, it's currently February the 5th. Originally, our plan was to actually visit a ski resort yesterday on a Saturday because it's actually one of the bucket lists I had for 2023. So I was born in the South. I was raised in the South. Any chance I get to see snow? Oh, okay, Uni. Anytime I get to see snow, it's like my very first Christmas in America. It has this magical power over my head. So now that I'm finally in the country that has four seasons, since we're in Korea, unlike Texas, where it's just summer and spring. There's no in between. There's no winter. There's barely any autumn. And there's a whole lot of allergies and heat, scorching heat. I really predicted that I could probably cook a fried egg over some aluminum foil on my car, but I never got to try it before I left. So next time I go back, if it's in the summer, I'll put it to the test and I'll let you know if it's true that I can cook a full course breakfast on my car hood. Control Z back to the main topic of this whole tangent. I was supposed to go to like a ski place or a ski resort. That's the only place I can ski for February because in January I was way too busy readjusting to my new schedule and just readjusting life back in Korea in general. I didn't really have any slots opened for leisure activity. In January, I started one of my New Year's goals was to create shorts/reels on Instagram and I guess post them on TikTok as well. So I have been creating like long forms of contents. I've created videos that are about 5 to 9 minutes, but the thing is that I am a slow editor and I am also painfully procrastinate. Wait, what do they call it? A procrastinating perfectionist? A procreate. So it takes me a long time to make one video, and that's one of the things I'm working on in 2023 is to how to tell a story more efficiently, to upload videos on a monthly or even twice a month instead of. It was so embarrassing to say that over the span of last year, I've only posted 3 videos. 3 videos? 1, 2, 3. Wait, hold on. Uni's video, moving on, finding happiness. Ooh, 2 videos. I posted 2 videos last year, and then the very first video I posted was like a year ago. 2 years ago. So that's, as you can see, first, not ideal for the algorithm. 2, just not good at keeping a schedule at all. So this time, I'm trying to create shorter forms while I'm still working on the longer forms. So just to keep the audience occupied, as well as keeping me on my toes to create like a different kind of content. So I've been doing that on Wednesday or Saturday. And then if I don't edit shorts on Wednesday, then I'll edit the full-length video on Wednesday. And then Saturday is dedicated to shorts. So as you can see, I don't really have any spaces left out for any big activities. So we were looking at the calendar and said, if we can't do it in January, then let's go ahead and do it in February. You know, Valentine's Day is on February too. Not that we hold a big value over Valentine's Day, but it's just an excuse to splurge. So we looked at all the weeks and then we decided, you know, the one that is most available while the snow is still here, because usually towards the end of February, the snow is basically kind of all gone. But we suddenly got like, it's not a blizzard, but we suddenly got a snowstorm for the past 2-3 weeks. And it was the first time I saw snow since I returned to Korea. It snowed while I was in the US. So I only saw like the remnants of the dirty snows on the floor and the streets. And then suddenly one day I woke up, it was like this giant coin-sized snowflake falling from the sky. And I was in awe. It felt like I was in a movie. It served main character energy. So we thought, okay, February will be good. But then Instagram be doing what Instagram does best, is to push contents to you that you didn't know that existed before and you didn't think that you needed before you've seen it on your feed. And I got this Instagram ad for DPR regime finale in Seoul. And I was looking at it. I'm like, we both like DPR. And I like both of their music. I enjoy both of them. So should we go to this event as our couple activity for February instead of skiing? Or maybe we can do skiing in like week 3 of February. So what are we gonna do? And I thought it would be like a unique experience because we never went to concert together, Taro and I. I've always been the one who went to concerts, and the only concerts I would go to would be for Mamamoo, right? So I already have this high standard of concerts, and I'm really not being biased. The concert production and the experience of going to a Mamamoo concert with live band is just incomparable to any other regular K-pop concert where they just play tracks like the backup tracks, and then they just sing, they dance a little, and they talk. No. Mamamoo's on a different level. So I was like, this is the same ticket price as what I would have paid for a Mamamoo concert. Is this worth it? But in the end, we decided to just go for it. Because like, why not? Since we're here, you know, when would be the next time that they do another concert since DPR is so busy? So we booked it, and weekend rolls around. We went to the venue. At first, I thought it was really sus, because usually if an artist holds a concert, you will see them teasing you about it on their Instagram story, or they'll post something about it, like, see you at 6, or like, blah, 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 preparing, backstage photo, BTS, like that. But there was nothing. Radio silent from DPR Live, DPR Ian, Cream, as well as just the official website. So I was like, is this fake? And we're a little bit worried. We're like, what if it's a concert that they didn't want to do, but they had to do? So there's no effort into it. But well, it's too late for us to back out. So we went to the venue, and then we saw a lot of people and a lot of foreigners just lining up in the cold. So we're like, okay, good. At least this is not fake. We got our wristbands, and we got standing A tickets. Seating was about maybe like a $10 cheaper. And Taro was considering doing seating. I was like, nah, this is your first concert experience. You have to experience it from the pit. It's a whole different level. You know, when you're in the stand, you can't get hyped because everyone is seating and just enjoying the moment. But in the pit, everyone is jumping, everyone is singing along. It's just gonna It's going to make your concert experience 10 times better. So he was convinced. We got standing, we checked in, we lined up in the cold for an hour and a half, and then we finally entered the venue. So the venue is pretty cozy, smaller than the one I went to for Mamamoo, but the standing was bigger than seating. Like, there were up to 900 people in one section, so the left and the right, A and B, right? We're on the left side, 900 people lined up. Right side, 900 people lined up, and I was like, this is a lot of people. I'm a little bit scared, so I was telling Taro to be careful, keep his space, like move his legs and stuff. And then the concert started. You opened with 2 songs from DPR Cream, who is their producers. And it was like, I'm like, am I in the club? I've never been to one, but am I in the club? It was just like remix after remix, and everything was very like trap, house, whatever it was. I don't know the genre. Whatever it was, it got the crowd hyped. And then immediately we are followed by DPR Ian. And then he plays his whole set, and everything is choreographed, and I wish I could just show you a part of my brain, or you can look at my stories, because I've decided to record my favorite songs, and then I also took some photos while I was recording. But I really like Mido. Mood Swings in this order, Mood Swing into order. I really like those 2 albums. The styles is it's what I'm leaning towards to these days. A little bit of rock, a little bit of indie, and a little bit of funk. Is that right? I don't know. But it's DPR Ian's music is very different from DPR Live's. So we're watching his set, his costume change, the dance, and we were standing, I want to say 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 rows behind the barricade. So we were pretty close. No, we were really close. I told Taro not to get close to the T stage, right? The extended stage, because I learned from my previous concert going experience, everyone will be crowding over that in that area. But if you want to get close, just go ahead and move on to the front where the barricade is, towards the front of the stage, because most of the time it's going to be spent near the main stage anyways. So we were there, we had a good view, we had a good spot. Luckily, the people in front of me, except 2 girls. Luckily, most of the people in front of us, they were shorter, so we were able to see. But that's an illusion. Once they start playing songs, phones go up, so I'm like, oh, you know what, never mind, I can't see it anymore. So we record, and after Ian played his last song, his closing song, which was Ballroom Extravaganza. It's one of my favorite songs, all-time favorite from Mido. DPR Live came in. Oh my gosh. It was, the storylines of everything. What is it? I think the album is called Is Anybody Out There? It's the one that's very like NASA themed. And he shows up in this helmet. It's not like an astronaut's helmet, but it's like a custom helmet. And then the storyline just unfolds through the album, through the Is Anybody Out There album. And then we switch to I Cool. And then we go back to the beginning. Like we go back to, did we sing Jasmine? I don't remember. But we just go backwards. And there's Summer Tights in there. Pew, pew, pew. Summer Tights. Oh my God. There's a song on his I Cool album called Venus. And then he opened with these, was it 7? 7 backup dancers? I don't know. But they were just, I can't, I had to look away. It was, I think the concert was for 16 plus? It felt like 18 plus. Not because there were like some explicit content, but everything was so like sensual. And I'm like, I can't see this. And while he was performing the Is Anybody Out There album bits, there was this one part where I'm assuming like he goes on this space exploration, but he ended up dying. And then he was brought back to the mothership, and he's on this counter, and this robot lady was trying to like revive him. And then he woke up, and what was it? What is that song called? Hold on, let me look at my Spotify. It was Old Girl. It started with Old Girl, and he woke up, he saw this AI, I don't know, robot, whatever, and he was just like falling for her. But she's a robot, right? So she's like not moving. And he's singing about her. And then he had this like arc reactor. I don't know where he found it. And then he like, boop, puts it on the girl's body. And she like fully woke up and was a quote unquote person. Like I guess she was conscious or whatever. And he was sad. I don't know why he was sad. He was just sitting there with his head down. And this girl, after he plugged the arc reactor on her suit, she like was walking around, right? She's like exploring her environment, then in a very robot-like manner. Then she went back to where he was sitting, and she kissed his neck. She kissed his neck. And immediately the transition goes from old girl to, was it Kiss Me? Explain yourself, girl, why so cruel? Huh? The way you kiss it, oh so rude. You got me up from dark till noon. Don't take my breath away too soon. Kiss me, kiss me. Wait, kiss me? Is it Kiss Me? Let me look at the lyrics. Listen to, yes. Yeah. You buzz me through my, wait. You buzz me through my light years. Yeah. Yep. It transitions to Kiss Me. And then you just see, okay, one thing I need to comment about is, what is it called? The visualizers in the background? You know, when the singers are singing up front and in the back you have the visualizers? Holy crap. The visualizers for both Ian and Live were just insane. Or they're crazy good. So when Kiss Me started playing, you just see these hearts just bursting from the center stage. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's the cutest thing ever. So he was walking around, he was singing, and she was walking around the opposite direction, just walking. She was not singing, okay? And then did they hug? Or did they like thumb kissed? I don't remember. But I was too shocked. I was too stunned to speak, okay? And then after that, we transitioned to Yellow Cab. In the MV Yellow Cab, there's this girl in a pink wig. So they're having fun, walking around, singing. And then in the end, okay, that was for the wig girl. In the end, I think they had like a, you know, like pinky promise. And then you bring your thumb over to seal the deal. And then when they did that, the crowd just lost it. Oh, it was so cute. And then towards the end, he was like, do you want to say hi? And she goes, nah. And then she just left. It was so funny. And then we had a segment where he was just talking because he's out of breath, like doing all those sets. And he's like, it's okay if I just talk for a second? Okay, take it with like a grain of salt because my Korean comprehension isn't that high. But I could make out about, I don't know, like 50, 60% of what he was saying. So during the talk, he was saying that, you know, we have been making music for such a long time, since like 2013 or something. And, you know, we made a lot of things, and I was very greedy with this show. Like I wanted to prepare so much for you. And for the past 5 months, they were doing the world tour. So they were around in North America and Asia and Europe. And then their last stop was in Seoul to close the entire tour. And he was saying for the last 5 months, I've been very busy. And then I think he was thinking a lot about his future directions in music and what he was going to do. And he came to the conclusion that he said he was going to stop making music indefinitely. Not saying that he will never make music anymore, but he just doesn't know when will be the next time that he will be able to make music again. So please treat this as if it's our last, right? Then we just went back to memory lane, and then we go back to the beginning, you know? What was it? Was it Know Me? Let me see. It was To Myself or no, it was Know Me, because someone with Dean, right? And then Jasmine, La Puta. What else? Did we see Please? I think Please was just in the very beginning. So before the show starts, people are just lining up. They're just playing music on the screen. Cheese and Wine. Let that cheese. Right? Was Cheese and Wine there? Maybe, possibly. But it was like the Coming to Your Life album and the Her album, because Martini Blue was in there. Text Me was in there. And I think we sing Jasmine. I really want to think so, but my mind is in a jumble. It's like a blender going off right now. So maybe we did, maybe not. But that song is special to a lot of us. And Coming to Your Life album was the greatest first album ever. Like, it's just amazing. So he had his talk, everyone got emotional. The person in front of me, I was looking at the screen because he was all the way up in the extended stage. I couldn't see him anymore. I was on the left-hand side. So I was looking at the screen, and this person in front of me, this dude, I saw like one teardrop falling out of his mask. So I was like, whoa, is my comprehension like okay, or what's going on right now? Like, is he retiring? Is he telling me that he's not making music anymore? I had to confirm with Taro after the show. But I just see this one teardrop fall out of his mask. I was like, dang, this is getting real right now. But then after we started playing the songs, you know, the crowd was getting more hyped because, you know, if this is our last, then might as well enjoy it. And then he said, okay, this will be the last song. He played the song, and everyone was like, encore, encore, encore. Then, in the middle of the stage, you see this person pops out with a, what is it called? It's like a roulette where it has 3 slots, and it goes ding, 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 where you usually see like a 777. What is that called? I don't know what is it called in Chinese. I don't know what is it called in English. I don't know what is it called in Korean. But that thing. And then it showed, what did it show? It showed blueberries and no. And then we're like, oh my gosh, no blueberries. So DPR Ian comes back, I guess, while DPR Live goes down and settle down and do whatever he needs to do. So DPR Live is finished. So no blueberries, Ian sings, and then the slot machine pops up again, and this dude's like doing it the second time. Then it was Diamonds plus Pearls. It's the song that they did for Shang-Chi. So DPR Live comes back on, and they're singing that together. And I think there's another song that they sing together. I really don't remember. Yeah, I really don't remember. There's so many things going on. Oh, she goes boom. I think they did boom together. Nope. No Blueberries has both Ian and Live. Okay, so that's why they did No Blueberries, Diamonds and Pearls. Boom. Anything else? I really, truly cannot remember anymore. I think that might be it. I think that might have been it. Yeah. So they bowed. They said goodbye. They told us that their parents were here and their grandma was here, and apparently a baby was there. And then we left the venue, and it was as if the life was just drained out of me, and everything started to, you start to feel that, you know, post-concert depression for a little bit. And we were just talking on the way back, And then Tara was like, I gotta go use the bathroom. I was like, cool. So we went to the subway station, right? And then you see just like this influx of people coming out from the venue. And I was waiting for the women's bathroom because, women's bathroom always has a line. Meanwhile, men's bathroom, express lane. So he goes in, does his business, and I'm waiting. I'm looking at the line, I'm like, do I really want to do this here? Then I look to my right, and I see this lady in the long padding with the haircut that I was very familiar with. And I was like, Heather? I walk up to her. I was like, Heather? And then she looked at me and she registered it was me. I was like, oh, hey. And I asked, so Heather is my coworker. And I asked, Heather, did you just go to a concert? She's like, yeah. I was like, did you go to DPR's concert? She's like, yeah. I was like, oh my God. I didn't know you were going to the concert because I just came out from the concert. She's like, what? No way. And she goes, wait, hold on. Someone is inside. I was like, what? One more? So it turns out 2 of my coworkers went to the concert and they were in seating. They weren't in standing. But we're just like, oh, so how funny. Like, I didn't know you were going to be here. And they're like, yeah. Did you go to a concert? Concert was great, lit, blah, blah, blah. Share some exchange. And then we parted ways. And I came home and I really tried to post stuff about concert, but I took so many things. I took videos and I took photos and I was editing all my photos. I wasn't gonna edit the video, let's be honest. No, not now. She has this obsession with paper bags. And I think I only made it through posting Ian's set. Then I was like, I can't do this anymore. I need to go to sleep. So I went to sleep. And recently, I have been just infatuated by Pokemon Arceus. Arceus? I have been hearing 2 different pronunciations. I'm going to stick with Arceus because this is the one that I've been hearing the most. Wow. The thing is, on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I went on the tangent of debating if I want to sell my Nintendo Switch or not. That is my stomach. Don't judge me. It's in the early morning and I'm really hungry and I haven't had food. I was like, should I keep it or should I sell it? Because I actually found it when I was looking for a cable. I'm like, oh, hey, it's my Switch Lite. I don't really play with it a lot. The only game I have on it is Animal Crossing. The only reason why I got it was for Animal Crossing. Because at the time when it came out, it was a pandemic time, right? And everyone around me had a Nintendo Switch and they were playing Animal Crossing and they would not stop talking about it. And of course, subliminally, and because of capitalism, I caved in. And I was like, I kind of want a Switch Lite. And Taro was like, okay. So he got me a Switch Lite and I got his Switch Lite so we can like play together. But that never happened. That never happened. So our Switches were just laying dormant somewhere in a cabinet or in like a storage box. So I was like, maybe I should just sell it, I think I'm at an age where I'm trying to declutter things out of my life, people out of my life. And honestly, I haven't used it all that much for it to be worthy of a spot to keep in my place, If I don't use it, then might as well get rid of it before it's too late. But then I remember, there is one more thing I want to do on the Switch. After I finish that, then I'm ready to get rid of it, is to play Pokemon. I didn't have Pokemon when I was a kid, and my very first Pokemon game was actually from the 3DS. On the 3DS, it was the Pokemon X. Then I got the Sapphire. So those were the only 2 Pokemon games I played in my lifetime. And I love X to death. I really, really love that game, but I don't have the console with me. In fact, it's actually in my siblings' room. And I was like, ever since they started the Switch line, they've changed Pokemon games. So now it's more so like an open world experience. And I thought, I should at least try that before I sell it. So I went on this like secondhand website in Korea. It's called Carrot Market. I went on Carrot Market, type in a few things. Like, I don't know, maybe someone will be selling it because Arceus isn't a new game. The newest Pokemon game is Violet and Scarlet? I don't know. I'm not sure because I wasn't looking at it. I watched so many videos debating which one should I get. Should I get the new Violet and Scarlet or should I get Arceus? And the general consensus is that Scarlet is just not that fully fleshed out, so it might be better if you just go with the Arceus Legend. So that was the one that I was looking up, and I found a seller, and he was selling it for 35,000 Korean won. I was like, this is a great deal. It doesn't come with the case, but honestly, I don't really care about the case because I have a protective case that I can put the game cards into. So I'm like, there's no use. It would just be extra clutter. So I messaged him saying, hey, can we like meet up Saturday or something? And then Taro was like, no, just have him ship it. Because shipping is $3 only. And if I commute to the place that I'm going to meet this person, it's going to cost a little bit more than $3 anyway. So why not have him ship it? So we gave him the address. I paid. And then he was like, wait a second, you live here? I can actually bring it to you on my way back. So we're like, okay, great. Can you leave it at the post box? So by the time I got home, this person already delivered the goods. So I came home. I think it was like 8:30 or 9. Got the game, plugged it in, and I did not stop playing until 4 a.m. It was insane. The game was so good. I couldn't stop, and I couldn't. Everything was so cute. It was a whole different experience. 100%. If you were playing like the 2D version and the 2.5 version and now just fully like 3D open world Pokemon game. It's like playing Pokemon for the very first time. And so fun catching everything. And you see these cute Pokemons just lurking around in the bushes, and then you can sneak up to them, and then you can name them easily, rename them easily. And oh my gosh, my favorite starter of all time is Froakie. But sadly, Froakie isn't one of the starters offered in Arceus. It was like a fire type that's from a long time ago, and then grass type, which was Rowlet, and then what was the water type? Water type, I don't even remember. I think it's the little... Is it a badger? No. Is it a seal with seashell on his tummy? Can you tell I never play Pokemon, or I don't play Pokemon that much? So I picked Rowlet because Rowlet is cute, so round. And eventually it turns into this like badass archer. So I'm like, this is the one I want. I picked that one, and immediately I renamed it to B. B-E-A-B. Now, at this point, if you know where that came from, then you and I can be best friends because B is short for Beatrice. And Beatrice Beatrice is a character from a show that I cannot stop talking about, I cannot stop thinking about, I cannot stop reading about. It's called Warrior Nun on Netflix. I don't remember how exactly I came across this show, but once I realized I did, I was already knees deep in this fandom. Like, I was like, oh, I started watching it backwards. So I started watching season 2, and I was like, oh, there's a season 1. So I watched season 2, heartbroken. Then I went back, I was like, am I ready to rewatch season 1 when it was still like the good old days? Then I went back to watch season 1. I haven't finished it yet. I have 2 more episodes left, and I'm keeping it. Like, I was like, I don't want to watch it because I feel like once I do, it's over for me. I'm the type of person who can't really rewatch the same show twice, especially if it's like one of my favorites. But there are exceptions. I've rewatched Killing Eve multiple times to a point that I can recite the lines. And I also rewatch Friends. Friends? No. Office. The Office, because Office is GOAT. So I have just been renaming all my characters, Pokemons, after characters from Warrior Nun. Like I have this, what is that Pokemon? This is fun. What is that Pokemon that looks like a lion, but it's electric type as well as dark? It has this like stars on his tail. I named that one Ava easily. And then I caught, what was the next one that I caught? You know the pony that's on fire? It's the baby of Rapidash. The horse that is on fire. Well, I named that one Lilith because it's very soothing. And then I had this opportunity to catch a shiny version of it, the shiny version of the horse on fire, the pony on fire, and I named that one Demon Lilith. Because in the show, please just watch Warrior Nun. Hashtag save Warrior Nun, because Warrior Nun is a show that ticks all of the boxes. All of the boxes. I know from the get-go, it might sound like it's not your cup of tea, because honestly, that's what I thought too. If you watch the trailer, it talks about like a bunch of undercover tactical nuns serving under this organization called the Order of the Crucifix Sword. And then they're protecting this celestial object called the Halo. And then whoever bears a halo on their back is a new champion. And then basically these nuns are just going around and fighting demons in this world. But one day, the halo falls into a person who isn't part of the church. Now what? This person is like confused. First of all, this person is dead. The halo revived her. She's confused as hell. Oh, can't say that. She's confused as heck. She's like running around trying to live her life because she used to be paralyzed. So she's experiencing everything. Meanwhile, the nuns are chasing after her like, hey, dude, come back. You got to save the world. And she's like, what? I just came back to life. What do you mean I got to save the world? There's this battle between like trust and then duty. And then accidentally releasing like a demon or an angel from the dead, and that caused a lot of chaos. And then we got like LGBTQ plus representation, and then this best friend to lover trope, crush trope. I can't look. If I keep going on forever, I would just spoil the plot, and I can't do that because Warrior Nun deserves your full attention, and I wish I could experience it for the very first time again, just like how I felt about Killing Eve, because I'm not even knees deep in Killing Eve anymore. I'm like torso deep in Killing Eve. But now with Warrior Nun, somehow it just feels like I'm up to my neck. I'm please help. Netflix, despite its huge success with zero promotion, has decided to cancel Warrior Nun, like season 3 of Warrior Nun, because Warrior Nun's storyline is not finished. And I was really impressed on how they merged religion into a story with this plot, because every episode is I need to collect my thoughts. Every episode is inspired from like a section, not really inspired from a section of the Bible, but for example, there'll be an episode named after specific verses, right? And that carries the message for whatever happens in that episode. Everything is just so meticulously thought out, and every character, you can make a connection with every character on that show. Well, okay, maybe like except 2, because I hate them, but I'm being biased. But every character, their character development is just chef's kiss. Please watch Warrior Nun. We have been campaigning, to ask Netflix to reverse their decision. Or there are a lot of fans tagging other streaming services and making memes to tell them to pick it up. Like, pick up Warrior Nun. They've tagged Apple TV, they've tagged Hulu. Wait, did we tag Hulu? Maybe not yet. Maybe we're just only focusing on Apple TV for the time being. And the hashtag has been trending for like with 8.5, I think 8.5 now, 8.5 million tweets worldwide. Just people hashtagging save warrior nun, save warrior nun, warrior nun. And then all the fans gathered enough money to put a billboard right in front of Netflix headquarters office in California. It's so funny. So people kept going there to take selfies, and so was the showrunner, Simon Barry. Like, he also quoted that, wow, you guys are the best fan ever, and all the other cast. And I am down bad for Miss Christina Tomtrion. She is Grace. She is beauty. She is Grace. She's not Miss United States because she's Finnish, but I'm also finished. Like, I'm finished. She is Finnish, and she has finished me. She is amazing, eloquent, funny, hilarious, weird, and just so charismatic and attentive and active in this fandom. Like, she has this thing called Cameo where she takes requests or questions from the fans, and then she'll record a video talking about it, answering those questions, XYZ. And she also acknowledged like the fan support, you know, the billboard, and most recently, I think they put up like a digital signage in Times Square. I don't remember where, but it was massive, and it was very, very impressive. And I was just like, oh, I don't know, you know, maybe it'll be renewed, maybe it won't. Hoping for the best, because the showrunner said, hey, if we can get this to 10 mil, I will release a scene and I will personally read it. And then Christina was like, yeah, I'll read it with you. And then we just lost our minds. We're like, all right, every day, just live, breathe, and tweets, hashtag save warrior. I've contributed a few of my own. They're not as glorious as all the other fan arts out there. I didn't tweet any fan art. But there was a funny one where someone wrote an article about warrior nun that's just all jumbled up. Like, they have Father Vincent playing as Beatrice, and then Beatrice with the name Rebecca. We're like, who the heck is Rebecca? I was like, hold up, wait a second. And but it was funny, and I think the fandom has been trying to achieve that goal since then. But we are so off topic. We're so off topic. So I got Pokemon on Thursday night, and I have been inseparable with it since. Let's backtrack to Monday, because something peculiar happened on Monday. On Monday, I still have my intensive class, so I usually arrive a little bit early to school to like prep as well as eat, because the timing is a little bit awkward. If I ate at home, I wouldn't be full when I get to work, and I have like a full day that day. So I need to stay full until 10 o'clock. I don't really have time to eat in between. So I went to my usual spot, and this place is called Teacher Kim 선생님. Went there, hella packed, because students just got out of the academies. And I'm like, oh, shoot, I don't have enough time. What do? I look to my right. Burger King. I don't really go to Burger King all that much because I didn't have something I really like from the menu. So if I were to pick junk food for my meal, I would usually go to McDonald's, right? Or very occasionally, I'll go to Subway. I was like, well, this is the closest option. McDonald's is too far. I wouldn't be able to make it on time and have time to eat. So I went to Burger King. And I am a very indecisive person. But because of the time constraints, I didn't have time to look at the menu anymore. So I just clicked on the new item and then waited for it. And the new item is called Chicken King. So Chicken King from Burger King. And I'm like, it's chicken. It can't be that bad. So I waited. I got my food. I sped walk back to my academy. And then I just laid out my spread as well as my TOEFL test prep book, because I have to prep my classes while I eat. So I'm prepping all the pages, and I unwrap the sandwich. And I look inside. It's kind of like a deep fried chicken, and then pickles, lettuce, nothing fancy. I took a bite. Oh my God. It was the best chicken sandwich I had. Yeah, best chicken sandwich I had. I said it over Popeyes, over Chick-fil-A. I was so surprised. I was, this is from Burger King. Took another bite. It's like they marinated chicken thighs and then deep fried it in kind of sort of like a Cajun way. And the sauces that coupled with it, and oh my gosh, I could not stop talking about it. I was raving about it to my coworker, to my friends, and then I started talking about it to Taro, and then he's like, "Was it really that good?" I was like, "Yes, I cannot stop thinking about her. I need to like have it again." And he's like, "Okay, we can have it on Saturday before a concert." I'm like, "Okay, call." Then Wednesday rolled around, and I got another chicken king because I was like, "Oh, what do I want to eat?" Well, I want to eat Chicken King. I know I shouldn't, but I want to eat Chicken King. So on Wednesday, I got it with my friend because I was talking about it so much. She's like, "You know what? Let's just go ahead and check it out, see if it's worth the hype." She had it, and she was like, "Whoa." And I'm like, "Yeah?" So I successfully convinced one person. Then Saturday rolls around, right before the concert, before I was going to meet Taro. I was like, I'm hungry. Next to my subway station, there was get this, Burger King. So I went into Burger King and I was like, I'm going to get a Chicken King. So over the span of a week, I've had Chicken King 3 times. And to be honest, after Saturday, I think that's it for me for a while because I was slowly getting tired of the taste. It was amazing regardless, but I was having this fatigue. It's not a visual fatigue, but more so like I was tired of this taste. It was great the first time around, and it'll probably be great in a month or so, but I'm done for February. There's no more Chicken King consumptions allowed in February anymore. Oh my gosh, there was another thing that I was extremely obsessed with. It was Spanish pop. And this stems from Warrior Nun. Because for the Warrior Nun intro, the very first intro, the first trailer, I guess, it was a song by Rosalia. But it was an old song. It's not the Rosalia Challenge song that you're thinking of. It's called Apale. And that song has a chokehold on me. I love that song so much. I put my faith in Spotify's hands and I say, "Dear Spotify, can you help me discover more Latino music?" And Spotify said, "Yes, my child. Click on Spotify Radio and let me generate all the good stuff." So, I started compiling this holy playlist of all the Spanish pop songs that I liked, starting from, Apale all the way to... There's one song that I like in the past. It's called Du. That one is great. Then there's this another song from Rosalia. It's called Linda. Oh, I love Linda. Linda's my workout song. Then there's La Vida from Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. There's Nena from... I can't even say her name. Yendry. But something strange about the N. Like, I can't do it. And then, of course, there's Telepatia. There's La Toxica, blah, blah, blah. Kiki. YSL. Oh, YSL from June Freedom. It slaps. What is it? Tamagotchi from Omar Apollo, of course, and many, many more. Like, I've been listening to Spanish pop nonstop. I even tried to influence Taro. I was like, I've been obsessive over this. Do you want to share an earbud? And he fought for 30 seconds, and he's like, okay, let's listen to it. And he was bopping to some of them, so I consider that as a win. And I still listen to it these days, but I feel like after the DPR concert, it's looping me back. It's dragging me back to the DPR realm. And I have been, of course, I have so many playlists, but I always make playlists based on like a current mood or like a film or something that I experienced. And I had to make one for DPR. It's called Regime. And it's on Spotify, so if you're interested, you can find me. My name is Jules. And you can find my playlist. And I have all these other playlists for other occasions as well. It has been a wild January/February so far. I don't know what will happen for the rest of this month. I do know that I have to train for 2 weeks, so I'm a little bit terrified about that, but I will try to be as ready as possible. And I have been using Notion pretty religiously on a daily basis. However, I think I'm going to shift some part of the work that I do on Notion back on paper. Maybe like the journaling part of it. Currently, since 2023, I started doing like one journal entry per day. And I have this like habit checker to tick off all the boxes. And I'm thinking about, writing it instead on my notebooks, because there's just something about writing things down, especially on a small notebook. The space is limited. You really have to think about what you want to say and how you want to say it. And on the computer, I've been just writing down what are my intentions, what are my happenings, and what am I grateful for, and actions, like to-do task. And it's easy to write it that way, and I'm glad I've done that, because if I felt a certain type of way on certain days of the week, I can go back and then check on what did I write? How did I felt, and reflect on that and turn it into actions for next week. But it didn't feel as personal comparing to writing things in a journal. It's like something physical that I can touch instead of just things that I type in the computer neatly ordered somewhere in the cloud. So I don't know. We'll give that a try. So far, it's been day 2. I wrote down some feelings about the concert going experience, as well as just a worry that I had recently. And by recently, I mean since Thursday, I was just having a lighthearted conversation with my friend. But then I discovered that one of the OG teachers not from our branch, but more so like our company, has left, and all these other things. And I kept seeing my coworkers leaving my workplace, all for their own reasons. But it made me question about, why am I still here? Everyone seems to be moving on to something better. Everyone seemed to be fed up with the situations. And shouldn't I be doing the same? That was the question I had. And it was bothering me since the question arose. So I told Taro, I said, can we please talk about this? Like, could you help me sort out my thoughts on Saturday before the concert? So we went to meet up at a cafe. We sat down, we had the talk, and then we went to the concert. And basically, he's like, well, so what's on your mind? And I said, I felt like I felt uncertain, and I felt afraid and a little bit ashamed. And he was like, why? It's like, well, all my coworkers are moving on. They're not staying at the same job. And if I count my fingers, it will be, once I complete this term in November 2023, it would have been my 3rd year here in Korea, as well as with the company. Is it time for me to change? I felt like I'm not making any progress, Am I not taking care of my future? Like, am I not being proactive enough to fix my situation? The fact that I'm still here, is that a quote unquote strength that I'm still here? Or is it because I'm just afraid to go out of this comfort zone? So I was telling him that, so I looked up some jobs, some postings, and it is true. It seems like the place I'm currently at, it pays higher than average. And, the longer you stay, the more merits you have, whatever. It's not really real merits, but I guess it's just something you can include on the plate. And I told them, all these other posting, they have less money, but also better hours, like regular hours. So I don't know what to pick. Should I pick to stay? Or should I choose another job that has less money, but more so like a regular schedule? Or do I just throw all of that out the window and look for a job that's, related to editing? And my friends were saying that, you can get an editing job. It doesn't have to be teaching, and you can use like the skills that you have to do those things that you like. And then, but Taro's perspective was interesting. He said, well, you shouldn't feel static. One thing I was afraid of was being static. Like, I'm not making progress. I'm just wasting time. And he said, I'm also have been at the same company for like a few years now, but do you think I'm static? And I was like, no. He's like, right, because essentially our job is just something that pays the bills. And what we need to focus our energy on is on what we really want to do, like on our side project. So for me, is YouTube. For him, is to become a photographer. And not really to become a photographer. He is a photographer, but he continues to make photo series, and document things that he think is important. He thinks that the world should know, and he continues to apply to competition. He continues to win. He gets recognition, XYZ. So he's not static in any sense, but his job is still the same. So he was trying to tell me that it's okay if you stay at the same job. It pays your bills, right? And instead of that fear or the frustration you feel of not having a job like the other people, you should redirect the energy and focus on your projects, right? Because that is what defines us. Like, us too as a creative is our work. The work that we do at our job is work too, but it isn't something that should occupy too much of our mind. Like we show up, we do our work to the best of our ability, and we leave, and then try not to carry anything from that, because that would interfere with our creative works. And I was like, you know what? That's true. And he said, your coworkers felt like they weren't moving anywhere, they weren't getting anywhere. It's because teaching is their career. So teaching at this place doesn't really further their teaching like experience or the resume. So they had to go, they had to leave to keep them on their feet. And you don't have to worry about that. Like, you're not trying to have teaching as your career. So make sure that you are focusing on working on the other thing that you want as a career, And I was like, you're right. So now I feel a little less bugged about my situation. And of course, I should keep looking just in case if any opening shows up. But honestly, I feel like I'm at a position where it's not bad. It's not great, but it's not too bad. I have opportunities to get extra cash here and there by training other people. I'm familiar with the curriculum. I'm not too stressed about teaching new things. I still have to spend a fair amount of time to prepare for my classes, of course. But that, comparing to creating an entire lesson on your own, this one is more efficient. That's all I'm gonna say. So are they screaming? Where are they screaming? So I was dwelling on that idea for a little bit. And then before I went to bed, I think I was washing my face or brushing my teeth. I thought about, what do I want to be? Am I trying to be a YouTuber? Am I trying to be what? Jesus, what's going on? Oh, they're playing a baseball game. Okay, there's a baseball field in front of my apartment, as well as a tennis court that I stare at longingly on a daily basis. But I was like, Taro wants to be a photographer, right? He is a photographer, and he's working towards that. But what do I want to be? Am I a vlogger? Am I a YouTuber? Am I an influencer? What do I want to be? And the term YouTuber just didn't sound right to me. I felt like I want to be a little bit more than that. And when I was talking to Taro, he was telling me, I told him, I was like, can you wait? I need to write down my ideas. So I was writing down what he was telling me onto my little Muji notebook that I had. And what did I write down? Oh, I wrote down some video ideas because I was telling him, or he was telling me how we differ in the sense that I find so much more in little things. And then he's like, yeah, you romanticize little things and you appreciate life, and that's something that's different. And that could be like a special niche that you find on YouTube. And I was also talking to him about planning on writing things more down instead of dumping them on Notion, because everything on Notion seems just falsely perfect. You type up this thing, type up the script, you edit it a few times, like, oh, perfect, that's my last draft. But if you write things, you draft things on the journal, you can see all the changes you make to the original one. I don't know, it's just something special about the feeling, being able to see your work on a physical medium, like something I can touch. I enjoy reading physical books instead of ebooks. It's like I cannot concentrate. The feelings and then the emotions of the characters aren't fully seeping into my brain. Am I old? Maybe I'm just old school. Maybe I just have an old soul. But I just imagined having all these, because I already have a collection of planners that I've been using since I've met Taro. Sometimes, occasionally, I'll go back and flip through the pages and I'm like, this is what I did in 2022 in September. I didn't remember I did that. There's like photos there, doodles there, comments there. It brings me back to that moment. And same thing with the notebook. It just feels infinitely more personal to have this instead of having something on the cloud, which I will admit is very efficient. And I can dump as many stuff as I can on there. But having things in the physical sense, it forces me to be as creative as possible within just one page. And I think there's something special about that. Maybe not to you. But we can respect ideas, no? We can respect opinions, no? So I decided to use this book more. I think in the beginning I had a specific vision of how I want this book to be. Like I want my journal entries to be in here. I want them to be neat. But then I realized, you know what? No, just write down your ideas. That's what a memo book is for. Just write down broken ideas before dumping them onto Notion and get in the habit of just journaling more. I really, really like the paper quality of Muji notebooks. Like the ones I have right now is just completely blank. And it only costed like 1,900 won. So probably $1 or $1.50 in the US. But I just the physicality of things. And that brought me back to the idea of, so what do I want to be? And I realized I don't want to be a YouTuber, or I don't want to just be a YouTuber. I don't just want to be a vlogger. I want to be a storyteller. And I guess the format that I prefer is over YouTube video. But I vividly remember when I was in college, when I felt really lost, there was this, what do you call the thing that you see on the side of a street or the side of the building? It's like a utility box. No, not really. But if you open it, it's all like the electrical wiring for the building inside. Like an electrical box. I'm just going to call it electrical box. I was in Austin, and Austin is weird. So you see all kinds of like graffitis or stickers or quotes, memes attached to the side of the buildings. And then when I saw this electrical box after studying at a cafe called Mozart, it had this giant circle. It said, live a great story. And I remember I asked my friend, I was like, oh, can you take a picture of this, of me and this box? She's like, yeah, cool. So I took a picture there next to the cafe. Then when I returned to campus, I noticed there was another one next to like, not the main street, but the street that divides the apartments and the main campus. On the side of the wall, it had the same sticker. It says live a great story. And I'm like, is that my sign? So ever since then, that became my motto. My motto in life, I guess, is to live a great story. So I thought, what better way to spend my life telling my story to others, you know? So I want to continue writing stories about how I feel as a person and, just throughout my journey of life, my growth, my heartbreaks, lessons that I've learned. I just want to tell you all these stories. So I guess it's decided. If you were ever to ask me, what do you want to do for a living? I want to say that I want to be a storyteller. Yeah, and I thought that epiphany was so powerful. I just kind of stood there for a second and you're like, I think everything clicked. Everything that I wanted to do, I think everything clicked. So I want to tell a great story. And I think it's partially influenced by the concert experience too, because it wasn't just like a concert where people play the songs, they sing, they say goodbyes, and that's it. Everything was strung together as a story. Songs were connecting seamlessly from one to another because there was a story. And I was like, I want to be able to tell a story like that, visually. Or probably not like in the musical sense. I don't think I'll make music. I do enjoy music. I enjoy singing. But I don't think I'll be able to make music. But I definitely want to record an experience like that. So those were the two significant events that happened to me over the span of January and February. I think these days I really do feel like I'm getting older as I'm coming into more and more of these little pit stops that I realize I'm different, or I'm thinking differently, or I'm maybe finally on the right track. That's how I felt. And thinking about that makes me want to cry. Not because I'm PMSing, but it feels so good to have some kind of clarity in your life, right? Especially because life feels like an open world experience. It is. And the objectives aren't always clear. So it's good to have a sense of what you are doing or what you want to do and have that as your mini quest. And hopefully by the end of completing that quest, it will lead you to other discoveries along the way. So whoever you are, wherever you are, as you're listening to this, I hope that you don't feel lost in life. You might feel a little lost in life, but I hope you find the joy in the world around you, in the littlest thing that you possess. And I hope that those little things can grant you a little happiness and it will compile into this giant star that shines over your worry, and that you can find things that give you guidance and things that give your life meaning. It doesn't have to be something that's grand. It could be something very minute. To even stay alive for another day is work. We are struggling to stay alive. We are fighting to stay alive. So don't ever minimize the effort that you're putting in. And I hope that you are looking after yourself, taking care of yourself, because most importantly, above all else, above anyone else, is that you love yourself, you love who you are, and you are, and if you're not at where you want to be right now, that's perfectly fine. Make sure that you are shifting the focus on you and at least doing things that are granting you to become the version of yourself that you want to be. I don't know, I'm rambling at this point, but I just hope that everyone else can have a moment to appreciate how far they've accomplished. Look at you. You know, wherever you are, just look at you. Look at where you were last year and look at you right now. Look at all the things that you've done that you've probably forgotten because you're doing so much more. But I'm proud of who you are, of who we are as a person alive this day. And I'm glad that we get another chance to do what we want to do. And there is always second chance. So if the opportunity ever presents itself, don't let it go. Don't let it slide, because they might not come around the second time. So make sure you're ready. And even if you're not ready, just take a leap of faith. You never know what will happen. And if you never try, you will never find out. Might as well just go for it and see. Just throw spaghettis on the wall and see what sticks. That's my second motto. So yeah, that's all for my 63rd. Wow, we made 63 podcasts of lactose intolerant. I'm sorry that this took a strange turn. Went from me fangirling to talking about things that was bothering me, a little bit more mature. But that's everything I wanted to tell you this week. And up to this week, wow. The sun is good. Go outside. It helps you live. Quote, Christina Tontrion. Reading thirst tweets. Do something. Do 3 things that makes you happy today. Could be something small. Go and get coffee. Roll out of bed. Fold your laundry. Read a book you like. Or watch a video that you like. Do something for yourself today. Do 3 things for yourself today. And let me know. I'm curious. Don't forget to take care of yourself. Okay? I'll talk to you all next time. Be careful. Stay safe. Have fun. And live a great story. I'll see you next time. Bye.